1. Hey everybody, AJ the One here. How are y'all doing? And I'm doing fine myself. I'm already stuttering. Today we're doing part 4. What if Deku was a swordsman? So last time we left off, Izuku was visited by his friends. That was the thing. Izuku was visited by his friends and was now notified about the sports festival. And due to this, he asked his father to train. Him and his father would have trained for 2 days, and now Edshot would have asked for 3 days off so he can train Izuku for the 2 days and also see 1 day to probably spend some time with the son. But looking back on that didn't make any sense. So just retcon that. He only asked for the 2 days off to train with Izuku because Edshot can literally just be there because it's an event for heroes. Anyway, right. Now getting to the part, Izuku would have shown up for school. Everybody would greet Izuku back, as now it would be time for the actual sports festival itself. They were all dressed in their UA sports uniforms as they will all walk outside with the rest of the other classes in UA. When Izuku would be standing with this class of 20 students, he would try to look over at some other class and introduce himself. He would be like, "Oh hey, my name's Izuku. I'm in class 1A. What's yours?" One of the students would look over at the student that Izuku was trying to talk to would look over at him as he would sort of stare daggers at Izuku. Izuku would sort of slant his head slightly confused as he would wonder why in the world that this kid was acting like this towards him. As the kid would just say under his breath, "1A bastard," as he would walk away. Izuku would hear this, but he wouldn't address it as he would just be so confused. As when this was happening, Kendo would also hear what the kid said as well as she would look over at Izuku as she would put her hand on his shoulder and just tell him to ignore him. Izuku would begin to scratch his head and wonder why did the kid call him that? What happened? As Kendo would tell them that when they would get to the locker room, she'll explain. Anyway, Kansuki would still be the top of his class and would be sent up to he would be sent up to basically to make his speech, quote unquote. He would say the same thing: "I'm gonna win." And now it's time for the race. They would get into the locker room and Kendo would explain everything to Izuku on how basically on the first day a group of students came to their classroom and tried to scout them out. And when they did, Katsuki, Inasa, and Todoroki all basically said on how none of them stood a chance. And now because of some other kid from class 1B from which you can tell his name is Monoma, from which he remembers his name is Monoma, and he basically spread a bad rumor about 1A. Saying about how they're just all cocky and big-headed because they fought villains and they, got out unscarred, basically. So Izuku would realize that this is all just a misunderstanding and it's just a bad name on 1A. And now Izuku would just say to Kendo, well, I guess it's our job to basically fix on what Katsuki's messed up. Katsuki would look over and say, "Hey, don't put this all on me." It was also Shoto and Inasa, so get on them too. Izuku would just sigh as he would ask Kendo he would ask Kendo if anything else has happened over time. She would say that no, that's about it. And after some time of this conversation, it would be finally time for them to do the race. When the race would start, Todoroki would still do the same thing as freezing the floor. But when this would happen, not only Todoroki would still freeze the ground, and as everybody would be stuck, but other people that would jump over would also jump over in the original, which would be Kirishima, Bakugo, and Momo. But with the addition of Inasa and Izuku. Izuku would jump over because of his significant strength. Inasa would also jump over using a whirlwind. Kirishima, of course, like the same, he would still jump over using his rock quirk, or I said rock, with his hardening, and Momo with her metal pole. After this point, Todoroki would have still gotten ahead and would have still dropped the 0 point on Tatsu and Kirishima. But by this point, But by this point, Inasa, Bakugo, and Izuku would have all already caught up to Todoroki before the 0 pointers can get close to them. Or before they could crush them. Now, at this point, it's basically Inasa in second place, but he's fighting against Todoroki for first. Katsuki in third place, and Izuku in fourth. Izuku, while running, would realize that he really had no other way to truly surpass them. At this point, this is his max speed, and he can't go any faster. The only thing that he can do is basically try to get an advantage point at some point. Try to get an advantage point at some point. And after some time of running, Izuku would have seen where his advantage point was with the rock pillars, or the tightrope zone, or whatever that place was called. Izuku realized that this is literally just his domain right here. He could jump from pillar to pillar, and damn it, hold on. Don't mess up the whole recording with this. He would jump from pillar to pillar, and even sometimes from wire to pillar if the pillars are too spread far apart. Almost like a Naruto character jumping through trees. So Izuku would completely would completely take the lead after this point. And after this point, he would get to the other side before anybody else, as now it would be Inasa and Todoroki fighting for second. Yeah, fighting for second place. Actually, no, it would be, I would assume, yeah, Inasa could pretty much basically fly, and he wouldn't have to do the same thing as Todoroki. So it would be Inasa in second place and Todoroki fighting for second place, while he's in third, and Bakugo in fourth place. And I would say it would most likely just be Inasa in second place and Bakugo and Todoroki fighting for fourth place. Or no, third, I meant. But anyway, as they would continue running, there would be no way for them to catch up to Izuku since he got such a high lead, and now Izuku would get first place. Everyone would be shocked as while this was all happening, President Mike would basically say, "Look at this, the first ever quirkless kid in all of UA's history to get first place in the sports festival." Everyone would be shocked as they would be like, "Wait, what did he say?" As President Mike would say, "Yeah, everybody, this kid has no quirk, none at all. That's why he's got that wooden sword on his head." So, and right now through as I would chime in, as he would say, Izuku Midoriya with hard work alone is now competing with people with quirks to prove that he could be the first ever quirkless hero. Everybody would cheer for Izuku, and of course, and just praise basically, as now it would be time for the next trial, or I guess, yeah, basically trial. You can call them games, but trial. And right now, since Izuku got first place, he would have the 10 million point headband. And Izuku would construct about the same team as in canon. As I don't think, maybe Kendo might be an addition to overthrow Hatsume, but still, I don't think so. Since Kendo would surpass Hagakure, it would probably just be Kendo, Ojiro, Koda. And I forgot who's Hagakure's fourth member is, but whoever it was, they'll also be on Kendo's team. Izuku's team would be about the same, and I feel like the same thing would pretty much happen. I don't like Izuku, yeah, the only thing I could think of happening is Izuku would only why am I stuttering so much? It would basically go the same way as in the anime. Izuku would be running around trying to avoid as many people as possible, and then on top of that, Todoroki would corner them with ice. Ida would rush forwards towards Izuku with the speed, and after that would take Izuku's 10-point headband. They would end up getting towards Todoroki like the original canon. Izuku would unsheath his blade as he would rush forward and swipe his blade in front of him. Todoroki would end up using his fire, of course, as Izuku this time would have grabbed forward, but he didn't know which one to grab. So he would have just grabbed the collective would just end up grabbing a random collective, like a multiple amount, off the top of Todoroki, just to at least get at least some decent amount of points, even if he didn't get Todoroki's headband, or Todoroki's headbands, or his headband originally. So he would have grabbed at least half of Todoroki's points. But I'm pretty sure in the original it was like on the bottom, and Izuku thought it was like on the top, or no, in the middle. Pretty sure like Momo put it at the bottom for the best tactical use. But Izuku would have grabbed like half of them off the top. As Todoroki still, even though he won, still felt like a loss. Izuku still managed to take a large chunk of points from him, and Izuku would have only gotten around, I would say, like the points that Tokiyami collected and the points that he just got off of Todoroki, probably would have gotten like third or second place. And now it's time for the actual fighting. In the locker room of 1A, Todoroki would still declare war. He would declare war on Izuku, specifically Izuku. Not only because Izuku is attempting almost, or basically is showing him up, and on top of that, is Katsuki. Todoroki just feels threatened by Izuku because he's quirkless and is now basically beating him. When this would happen, it would basically be like, it would be Bakugo and Inasa saying like, I think like Todoroki said like declare war on him too, or not to leave him out. Inasa would say something like, hey, if you're declaring war on my friend, then you declare war on me too. Todoroki would look over at Inasa and say, fine, okay. As basically now, it will be time for the fights. Izuku would still get the same fight with Shinso. Ojiro would still warn Izuku about the about Shinso's work, so when Shinso would talk crap about Ojiro, Izuku wouldn't be so stupid to just say, ooh. Bro, that's the only L factor about Izuku. He acts so stupid. So it's always questioning his intelligence. But anyway, where was that? Right, exactly. So Izuku would not speak to Shinso when they would interact, as Izuku would just push Shinso out of the arena. And whenever Shinso would try to fight back, Izuku would of course combat him with his wooden katana, knocking him out the ring. After this point, it would be the second match, which would be, I'm pretty sure, Izuku versus Todoroki. All the other matches will continue. I don't think Hagakure was in her match. Yeah, Hagakure didn't make it. So we'll have to replace somebody with Kendo. Or Kendo honestly could not be in it. That's also a possibility. I would say we could definitely replace her with Aoyama. That's who Mina fought. What the shit? So yeah, Aoyama's out at the tournament. I don't know. Listen, Aoyama was on a different team. He was on the losing team this time. That's all I'm gonna say. Boom. Losing team this time. So now it would be Mina versus Kendo. I would say, it's literally just big hands versus acid. It would burn, but Mina would be too afraid to burn Kendo. So I feel like she would either A, forfeit, or try to find another way to attack. But no. Yeah, that's a win for Kendo. Anyway. Oh, I really should have made a bracket for this. It really don't matter. Right now it would be Izuku versus Todoroki. Prepare to listen so closely, because I'm about to start that like crazy. It would be the same thing again, and Todoroki would pull Izuku to the side and tell him his backstory. Bakugo would listen, and it would basically be the same thing. Endeavor would still tell Izuku to make Todoroki use his fire, as Izuku would ignore Endeavor completely, entirely, not even listening or even looking at him. Endeavor would look over Izuku and say, "Hey, did you hear what a word I said?" Izuku would at this point turn around and say, "I heard everything you said, but I'm not the one to control Todoroki. And honestly, if I weren't to make Todoroki use his fire, what are you gonna do about it? I would do what I want, and Todoroki would do what he wants. And also, if he's smart enough, he'll know that he probably won't be able to win without his fire." Izuku would say this as he would continue to walk out of the hallway. Endeavor would try to call up to Izuku, but Izuku would not listen. Now it's time for the arena, as this fight would be a little not hard to explain. It's just gonna take a while. Okay. At the start of the fight, Todoroki would try to end this in one shot by firing a really large ice wall. Izuku sort of expecting this. He would have used this sword as like a pole vault almost, or like a vaulting pole, but he would have did it to the side. So he launched himself to the side, completely out of the way of the ice wall. After this point, he would try to rush in closer to Todoroki. And after this point, Todoroki would try to use his ice to completely zone out Izuku, but Izuku would be jumping over it and using the ice to basically get more speed to get closer to Todoroki. Once Izuku would finish bobbing and weaving through Todoroki's ice, he would swing at Todoroki with his wooden katana. Todoroki would put up an ice wall to block it, and then after that would try to actually no, my bad. He would put up an ice wall to block it as Izuku would jump over top of Todoroki and strike his blade straight down. Todoroki, not expecting this, as he would jump out of the way as Izuku's wooden sword would stab into the concrete. This would basically be almost majority of the fight, as Izuku would bob and weave and Todoroki would just zone. When he got close, make a barrier as he would run away. Izuku, realizing that Todoroki is trying to completely wear him out, so what he would do, he would run forward to Todoroki as this time it would basically be Izuku just trying to get over the walls. Izuku, instead of this time, would just, as soon as Todoroki would make a wall, Izuku would put so much force behind it that he would break through the wall and strike Todoroki in the shoulder. Todoroki would be so injured by this as he wouldn't realize Izuku rushing towards him at high speeds as he would jab Todoroki right into his chest, and after that into his leg, and then strike him across the face. As now it's basically Izuku just fully in the zone. He's fast. He's faster than Todoroki, possibly faster than Todoroki can realize. He strikes ridiculously hard, and now he's in close combat with Todoroki. But truthfully, there's truly no way for Izuku to win. He not only has a really weak wooden katana, Todoroki can completely zone him, and Izuku would end up getting exhausted after a certain amount of time. Todoroki can also take a hit as well. He's taking hits like from Deku. So he's taking hits from Deku in the original canon. This is just a stronger Deku, but without a one-for-all boost. So the best thing I could say that Izuku severely injures Todoroki before Todoroki would probably launch him out of the ring with a fire blast. As Izuku would say the same thing. It's your quirk, not his. So Todoroki would probably launch him out the ring with fire, launch him out the ring with ice, or just freeze Izuku or burn Izuku by knocking him out. With the most likely one, probably burning Izuku by knocking him out, because Izuku would be too, I guess, not ignorant, but too stubborn and too hard-headed to basically forfeit or get out the ring. So yeah, he would probably get knocked out from burning, or from pain, if you could say, or even exhaustion. All those things are basically the same thing, as Izuku would be knocked out and would be in the infirmary. And after this point, Katsuki would still win the tournament, but Kendo, I would say, would end up getting third place. I feel like at some point Mina lost to somebody. I don't remember who, but I'm gonna say whoever it was, Kendo would end up winning. And also Kendo at some point would end up going against Todoroki, for that third place spot. She definitely would have been able to beat Tokiyami. Dark Shadow is fast, but still, it's a person with giant hands who I'm pretty sure knows some form of karate. That's gonna be a real problem for Dark Shadow. He's constantly getting hit by Kendo, and Dark Shadow Kendo could probably match Dark Shadow in power, but even still, that's an easy win for Kendo. Of course, I don't agree with this, but for plot reasons, I do agree with this. At this point, Tokiyami, there's not really much about him. Anyway, Kendo would go against, I'm pretty sure, Bakugo, obliterated. So Kendo has secured her third place spot. Bakugo has secured his first place, fighting Todoroki, and Todoroki got second. When Ezekiel would wake up in the infirmary, he would Inasa and it would be Inasa and Kirishima and Kendo, and I want to say it would probably be his entire friend group. They would all be worried about him. Maybe even Katsuki. I think. Yeah, it would be Katsuki. It would be all of them, all 7 of them. Momo, Mina, Kendo, Inasa, Denki, Kirishima, Bakugo. They would all check on Yuzuko and see if he's all right. He would assure that he is, as he would ask for the results of the sports festival. Hearing this, Katsuki would get mad as he would basically just storm out of the room. As he not. Oh wait, I just realized. Inasa's in the tournament. I may have messed up this entire recording. Hold on. Where would Inasa sit? I know Mineta went against Froppy and Tsuyu. That means at some point he would definitely have to go against Kendo. And that's a win for Inasa. And after that point, he would go against Todoroki. So Inasa versus Todoroki. Not Todoroki, Bakugo, I meant. And Bakugo does know the howitzer impact. That would actually be a really good fight. But I would say it would probably go to Inasa. Inasa's literally the counter for Bakugo. It's an explosion that moves forward. He moves the stuff the opposite way with his wind. So I would say that would be a win for Inasa. And after that, it's literally Inasa with a grudge towards Todoroki versus a very, unstable Todoroki. So Inasa would have gotten first place, Katsuki with third, and Todoroki with second. Just remembered Inasa was in the tournament. That's crazy. Anyway, my bad about that. It's 5:38 a.m. when I'm recording this. I need to start recording in the middle of the day again. This ain't working out. I'm forgetting so much stuff. I also need to start writing it down too. But anyway, back to the story. Katsuki would have got. Actually, no. So if that's the case, Katsuki wouldn't have gotten pissed off and left the room. He would still be in the room as he would sort of like be grumpy about it. As Inasa would get a wide grin on his face and scratch the back. No, he would get a wide grin on his face as he would look pumped as he would put his arms in the air as he would say that he won the sports, that he won. Izuku would say, "That's good. Did you get a chance to at least repair some of 1A's reputation by not being cocky?" Inasa would have said that he wasn't cocky at all. He basically took the medal humbly. As Izuku would put a thumbs up. As he would ask where did all of them placed, they would have placed where they placed. As now, after the USJ, it would be time for the what are them things called? I forgot, but it's the I know which the arc is. It's basically the Stain arc / not student recommendation. Crap, I forgot what it's called. Internships. Time for internships. Right now, who would Izuku intern with? Kendo will get one for all. That's something I do want to say. Kendo will be getting one for all, and she will go with Gran Torino. Ome would have gave her one for all right after the UA Sports Festival. It would make more sense than before, but at the same time, he wouldn't really know. And also at this point, he doesn't really talk to Night Eye, so Miria wouldn't be getting it. So it would be Kendo. He also thought about Kirishima, but Kendo's quirk is basically almost picture perfect for one for all. Literally big hands, more damage. Crazy. So after this point, Kendo would have went to what was his name? Right, Gran Torino. Bakugo, Best Genius, Todoroki, and Endeavor. Mina, Momo would go to their agencies wherever they went in the original canon. So now it's just up to decide between Inasa and Izuku. Inasa getting first place would have definitely got one of the would have gotten almost a little bit under Todoroki. Because Todoroki still has fire and ice, no matter what. Even if he got in like 4th place, Or no, not he could have got like 17th place. He would have still probably got the most out of everyone. But now it's so Inasa would probably go to somebody like Best Genius or Edge Shot. Those would be his top two best ones. I can't think of any other hero that would probably benefit him as much as Best Genius or possibly Edge Shot. And since he Inasa knows Izuku, he would probably go to Edge Shot's agency just to get a physical boost. But nah, that seems too boring or too basic almost. So yeah, he's gonna go with Baku, go to Best Genius. Izuku is obviously gonna go to Edge Shot. And throughout that time, I feel like the Stain arc would still happen. Ida's mood would be the same. Izuku would check up with Uraraka and Ida about that one. Ida would have told them about their brother, or they would learn about what happened through Stain. And now it would be time for the Stain arc. But that's next part. It's AJ the One signing out. I'm tired. Please like, subscribe, comment, share, all that good stuff. Put on notifications so you can realize whenever quote unquote banger of mine drops. This shit ain't banger, bro. I'm starting hard as fuck. We all know. I'm just saying it to put my weak ass self-esteem up, bro. Have a nice day.